Hi! Okay, so basically I'm doing the next video out of the 9 videos that I'm planning on posting. This is the second addition to my first video, if you're new, which a lot of you will be. I'm doing a 9-week project, a 9-week animation project based on the Lindy Hop, which is African American dance. But yeah, today I was just designing the characters using a different technique. I started off putting colour, using Posca pens, so that I could make a bunch of shapes of animals because my characters are going to be animals. Today I was still dead set on the characters being cat and mice because like the Disney thing that I explained in the last video. But I did end up changing my mind towards the end of the week. I decided to make the characters from West African origin because I felt like that would make more sense considering they're supposed to be black. But yeah, anyways, I was laying down colour and stuff because I wanted to make, when I was thinking about making mice, I wanted to make mice shapes that were interesting. So I laid down a bunch of colour using Posca pens and then drew mice. I know it looks like I'm slamming the Posca pens, which I actually am, but it's because they were running out, okay? They were running out. And I didn't slam the pink one because it was anyways mine. Because this was a Monday morning, I was really relaxed and I wasn't really that stressed about what I had to do. I knew I wanted to approach this differently rather than just drawing out mice. I was like, oh, how can I draw mice in a different way? I started from the top and then I worked all the way down to the bottom, trying to like fill up all the space before drawing the faces on and yeah, this was really relaxing actually. I thought it was going to be really stressful because I have done something like this before and it didn't turn out well, and I was like, oh okay, I'll just give up. But this time it was just really easy and stuff, so yeah, this was really fun to do. I think some of them didn't really look like mice though. As I was doing it, I was like, this doesn't even look like a mouse. Like some of them have like really tiny eyes and like huge head, and I was like, you know, maybe I'm not doing it right. But I think towards the end, like when I looked at the final outcome, I was like, actually this. But yeah, I just want these character designs. I wanted them to look unique, and I knew that if I went for, you know, a traditional just sketching method, then it would just, the characters might look a little bit flat. So I'm glad I did this. On this week, I drank so much Lucozade. Like, I shouldn't have done that because you can see, like, in some of the parts of the video, my eyes are just, like, staring directly at the camera or just staring. Even here, like, look, I'm, like, staring at everything that I'm doing. And it didn't help because everyone just kept telling me to buy more when I feel like I really shouldn't. I was definitely at my limit, but I just kept consuming it. But anyways, I think I'm really grateful for this course, for encouraging us to try different mediums and, like, try different ways of working, because I feel like without my tutor's input then I would probably have just drawn this digitally. Yeah, this was like a really good morning thing to do because it just kind of woke me up a little bit and also helped me think of different ways of approaching this project. This is how the wall was looking. I'm like approaching things differently. I started going on Pinterest and looking at how I could manipulate faces of black people and make them look more like mice and one of my friends was like, do you even have consent for that? Because I was like, yeah, I mean, fair enough, because I'm like manipulating their faces and making them look really crazy. But I really like the way these turned out. I think it was just something that I'd never really done before. I never even thought about. But yeah, after I did my edits, I took it to the printer and I printed it out and they looked really cool. And actually I was planning on painting from them, but I chose not to because, like I said, halfway through the week, I was like, oh, I don't want to do cat and mice anymore. So yeah, I never got to paint them, but they did kind of stay as like a little reference for how I can make people look like animals and vice versa. And then after that, I was like, I want to put my tag on my wall. So I started drawing my OCs and I colored them in and I put them on my wall. And yeah, that was the end of that day. Next day, I got rid of everything that was on top of my sketchbook and compiled them onto a little pile because they were getting a little bit much. But actually, before that, I went to the library and I picked up a book related to my project on like 1920s dance and stuff. The book that I got is called The Cotton Club by Jim Haskin, and it was really, really good. Like, I really enjoyed reading it. I only skimmed it a little bit, but I did get like a general gist of what he was talking about, and it had pictures in it, and I love pictures. Yippee! No, for real, it was very like informative and I felt like I learned a lot, even just like reading a couple of lines. My main aim was getting images from this book, so I tagged all the pages that had photos that I wanted to scan in and then print out and put on my wall or put in my contextual research. After I tagged all the pages that I wanted to scan, I put it through the scanner, made a note of all the pages. And this process wasn't actually too hard or even too long. I got a hang of scanning quite quickly because I was already introduced to it anyways, so I knew what I was doing. After that was done, I filled in my reflective journal. It just talked about everything that I talked about now, but in that book. And then this morning, a lie, that morning sucked. It's not like I didn't have any fun, but I didn't do anything. I didn't get anything accomplished. I spent most of my time floating around the studios and stuff because there's other people around me, and I didn't really do any of my work. So this was the only thing that I drew for this day, and I just put it on my wall and I was like, you know what, this is good enough. You can see how excited I was to do this. I was really tired this morning and I forgot to do my reflective journal from yesterday, so I just wrote a bunch of stuff that I did do, and how I was kind of sad that I didn't do anything yesterday. I did mention how I enjoyed the little break that I had yesterday in comparison to the day before. You know, I'm not even gonna narrate this bit, I'm just gonna let you guys watch it and see what happens. Oh, I cut the wrong side. I didn't realize I made one drawing on the front and then I forgot that I did all those other drawings at the back, and you can see where I realized. You can see how my eyes just like dart back to my page, and look, it was completely like all my doodles that I did at the back were completely destroyed. So yeah, I was fuming because I wanted to keep them, but I made up for it by drawing some other stuff. At the end of this week, I was struggling for ideas, I'm not gonna lie. I was like looking through my old like collages that I made for the first week and was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So I actually put my phone down and stopped recording for a while because I was like, I can't focus. But I made a lot more drawings after that, so I think that helps in some way. But yeah, that was the end of my second week. Let's go. Yippee! Yippee!